You love animals, I love animals. Animals are great. I want to show you a video here. We were in Switzerland and I was with Dr. Wentz. We drove across Switzerland and we saw the Swiss Alps. And I asked Dr. Wentz if he'd be willing to stay on the top of one of those mountains and have his picture taken. We went and got in a helicopter, and I'm the guy with the door off the helicopter filming Dr. Wentz as he's standing up on this beautiful mountain. And as we were taking this shot, we took the door off the helicopter, we flew up to the mountain, and that looks like snow, but it's really not snow, it's ice. And Dr. Wentz wasn't prepared to be up at the top of the mountains that day, and so here's what really happened that day. As the helicopter pulled off, the wind from the blades blew Dr. Wentz over, and he almost fell off the mountain. USANA almost ended very quickly that day. There's our founder, Dr. Wentz, holding on for dear life. Now, to show you what kind of company this is, I didn't get fired. I'm still here all these years later. And that's the great man that Dr. Wentz is, to have us here at this beautiful company. We are the 17th largest direct selling company in the entire world out of South. And of those all direct selling companies, we are the #1 and largest binary compensation plan in the entire world. And in the Philippines, we are #1, right? Yes! And we are that because of all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all you do. Here's a video of the very first USANA convention. It was much smaller than this, obviously. You can see the sign is held up with tape. This was 20 years ago. There are only a few hundred people in the room, and as the camera pulls back, you'll see that the screen was a projector and a slide as a projector that came down. And all of the equipment from that very first USANA convention fit in my little car. My, have times changed. Look at this. Wow. We have Yes. In Salt Lake City, Utah, if you haven't been to our international convention, you need to go. It's been named the best live event in America. And it is incredible to see. And we have events like this all over the world. We've come a long way from that first convention to where we are today. 4 years in the Philippines. A little over 20 years ago, I was asked to go meet a gentleman named Dr. Myron Wentz. I went to Gold Laboratories. As I walked down the hallways of Gold Laboratories, it was an incredible thing to see. Tests were being performed on human cells. Doctors, scientists were working to work on diagnostic test kits for which Dr. Wentz would be world-renowned in developing test kits that nobody else could do. As I walked down the halls at Gold Laboratories, something touched my heart that there was something different here. And as I sat down with Dr. Wentz and interviewed him for the first time 20 years ago, I could sense in my heart that there was something different about this man and about his vision. I'm going to show you a clip of that very first interview of Dr. Wentz from 20 years ago. Here it is.
20 years ago, I felt that a contribution to the diagnosis of infectious diseases would be the most important contribution that I could make to the health of mankind. Today, I believe it's nutrition, and I believe the impact of proper nutrition will play a far more significant role in the health of mankind than anything else before it. And so I'm totally committed to nutrition and doing whatever I can to ensure that all of us have the optimum in nutrition. The Usana Essentials are the finest nutritional system available today. As I've traveled around the world, I've become convinced that there are no other products which come close to providing the optimum nutrition.
That video was filmed 20 years ago. 20 years ago, nobody was talking about nutritional science. They weren't talking about antioxidants. They weren't talking about how beneficial vitamins are to our health. Dr. Wentz said in that clip that he believed nutritional science would be the most effective thing that he could do to help mankind. That's now happening around the world. I love this quote by Albert Einstein. It says, "Most people believe it takes intellect to be great scientists. I beg to differ. It takes character."
Yes.
USANA is a company that is founded on character. I've been with USANA for over 20 years since it started. I was there when we started and developed this company. Dr. Wentz said that he would move forward with this company, USANA, if the company would be known around the world as the best company in the marketplace. And we have done that. Dr. Wentz was recognized with the Albert Einstein Award for his achievement in the life sciences. He went to Jerusalem and was awarded this prestigious award, which is very fitting for someone whose vision is changing so many lives around the world. USANA just posted a decade of record sales. Now, I don't know if you've seen what's going on in the economy, with recessions that are taking place, the world economy, but there is no recession in USANA.
Yeah.
10 years of record growth. No recession here. People often ask me, through all my years of working with USANA, what is the difference between someone who succeeds in USANA and somebody who doesn't? What is something and what do you see? And I love this quote. It says, "I believe life is constantly testing us for our level of commitment." Has anyone in this room been tested for your level of commitment? Life's greatest rewards are reserved for those who demonstrate a never-ending commitment to act until they achieve. You have to act until you achieve. That is your goal. That never-ending commitment to act until you achieve. And then this level of resolve can move mountains, but it must be constant and it must be consistent. That is how you're successful with USANA. So I ask you today, how committed are you? How committed are you to changing lives? Most importantly, changing your own life. That level of commitment will be tested over and over and over again. The difference between your success and your failure is, are you willing to act until you achieve and do it consistently and constantly? That is the secret to success in USANA. You also have to have vision. You have to be able to see things bigger than they are before you, and where you're headed and where you're going. Helen Keller said, the only thing worse than being blind is having sight, but no vision.
The only thing is
You need to have vision. Vision about where you want to go and where you want to head.
USANA cannot grow if its associates do not grow. Many of you saw your own businesses expand last year and achieved goals that might have seemed unattainable just a short time ago. Others here today may have just begun their USANA businesses, propelled by their conviction that hard work in this company will bring considerable rewards of improved health and financial independence. Wherever you might be in your USANA journey, you should feel proud to have recognized USANA's potential, to have bravely taken the leap that so many others were afraid of. As any student of history can tell you, great progress like ours was never made by the timid or cynical. We are a company of forward thinkers and dreamers, which is why I believe we have even bigger things to accomplish this year and beyond. It is an exciting time to be a part of this company. It's likely that many of you were in the audience at USANA's International Convention, as I told the thousands of associates in attendance what began so many years ago as a simple desire to improve the health of those I love has become a catalyst for an entire family of visionaries reaching around the globe. I challenged you that day to continue sharing our vision with the world, and I want to reissue that challenge today. You have something that is potentially life-changing to offer people, so don't let an opportunity to share it with someone be missed. Make a conscious decision to improve your own life and that of others. I challenge each of you to play your own part in sharing this incredible vision of USANA.
Are you willing to share this incredible vision?
Yes!
How committed are you? Are you committed to making a difference in the world? Are you committed to making a difference in your own life? USANA pays $5 million a week, U.S., in commissions. $5 million U.S. every week in commissions. Do you want your share of that $5 million U.S.?
Yes!
I would say to you, no, you don't want your share. You want more than your share. We sit in USANA at a table of abundance. Don't settle for the scraps. Right? So think about where you are today and where your life is today. Every one of our lives are in different places, and we have different reasons why we came to this meeting. As you think about your life, I want to tell you a story about a man named Jim Stockdale. Jim Stockdale was the longest held, highest ranking officer in the Vietnam War. He was held in the prisoner concentration camps, and he's the one that developed the way they communicated with each other through the tapping system. Admiral Stockdale came through the Vietnam War and through being held a prisoner of war over 5 years, but he came out of the experience very healthy and very well. Psychologists studied him to find out what was different about him versus the other prisoners of war who had such a horrible, horrible time. And they came up with what has become known as the Stockdale paradox. The Stockdale paradox is this. Admiral Stockdale said that people in the prisoner of war camp would say, the other prisoners would say, I'm going to be out by Christmas. Christmas would come and go, and they would still be in the camp. He said those men died of a broken heart. The difference in Admiral Stockdale, and this is the paradox, he always confronted the brutal reality of his situation, which meant he was in a prisoner of war camp. He was in horrible circumstances. He knew that and he understood that, but he never lost sight at the end of his story. And the end of his story was walking down the steps of the airplane, and at the bottom of the steps was his family there to greet him. And that's what he thought about. He never lost sight in the end of his story. What is the end of your story? What are your brutal realities that you have to face, that we all have to face? Recognize what they are, work at overcoming them, but never lose sight in the end of your story. In 1992, when USANA was started, this is my family. Yes, that's me with the mullet, the long hair in the back, sorry. Yeah. This is what my family looked like when I met Dr. Wentz in 1992. This is my family on Christmas a few weeks ago. That's my granddaughter in the middle. Did the picture go off? Let's back up one. Can you back up to slide one? Anyway, that was my beautiful granddaughter in the middle. I'm now her grandpa. So as we think about what is the end of the story, for me, the end of the story is my family. Why did I fly around the world to be here with you today? Why do I do what I do? It's because I do it for my family.
Yes.
And my USANA family. For me, my family is the end of the story. Just like Admiral Stockdale envisioned walking down the steps. I envision a healthy family that loves me and I love them, and that's the most important thing to me. So, the end of the story for me after that point was my healthy children. Now I have a grandchild, I'm a grandpa. My story is starting all over again. My message to you is this: to live life in crescendo, which means the best is yet to come. Live life in crescendo. Make that your commitment. Know what your vision is, know what the end of your story is, and as you know what that is, know that the best is yet to come. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for what you represent. We are about changing lives. Thank you. We're here to celebrate all of you. It's my honor to be with you today. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you.